parkour? That could be a pretty good question. Like something about it coming into the media with like the parkour TV shows. You could have something about that.
So how do we get on the question of like parkour having sponsors, or is parkour starting to become mainstream?
Well, you could ask. So is parkour a sport, or exactly what is it? And then I could go into that, and then we could move on to the sponsorship and stuff. Okay. Wait, you're still recording?
Yeah, recording. So is parkour, more of a sport or discipline or both?
Is parkour a sport? Some would say yes, some would say no. Personally, I would say parkour is more of a discipline akin to a martial art, like Taekwondo, because there's not really a competitive edge in parkour, but there's also free running, which people are also familiar with, where people are not only moving from point A to point B quickly and efficiently, but they're moving from point A to point B in a way that suits them. It's freedom of movement and expression through movement, whereas parkour is efficiency and helping people.
What about parkour that brings the community together? Is it about friendship? Is it about coming together under some unique sort of
camaraderie?
Camaraderie, or some sort of interest that that you share with other people.
What brings people who do parkour together? I think personally, I think that it's a common goal to have mastery over self and environment, because when push comes to shove, parkour is going to be a little bit more helpful to the general community in case of an emergency than not being friends with people. And that right there could bring people together to love doing parkour. Parkour communities are really just groups of people who like to hang out and practice something that they all like practicing, just like in a basketball club or a football team. The only difference is, rather than using equipment or anything, we're just using our bodies to get over and around things we see in the city.
Is there any like beginner level to mastery level? Like, what are some of the basic to hardest tricks? If do you call them tricks? What do you call them?
So, what are the components of parkour? Parkour is basically made of vaults, quadrupedal movement, bar work, and bar work and wall work. There's about 8 or so different vaults. 3 of the main ones being the Kong, the Cash, and the Dash. There's a technique for being on all four. The technique for being on your hands and knees and getting around quickly and efficiently. There's a technique for using bars and bars and scaffolding, traversing stuff like that, and even trees. And there's also a technique for getting up and around walls. And those are the main components of parkour. You put those together and you could get through just about any area quickly and efficiently.
So, I know with, say the people who do the men and women who do, balance beams and whatnot like that.
Gymnastics?
Yeah, gymnastics. So, I mean, they have a tool, you know, they use the balance beam. Would you say the concrete is your balance beam?
I would say that anything that you see that you can get over and around is your tool to train parkour. But actually doing parkour is very rare, since the essence of it is getting from point A to point B quickly and efficiently. When you're training, I don't think you're actually doing, because it's repetition and it's practice for when you actually do get to do it. And that would be when you would actually be doing parkour and using the environment to do parkour.